My name is Racheli, and oh my god, in my other video I said I'm a 22-year-old cancer survivor. I'm a 23-year-old cancer survivor now. That's a big deal. As you can tell by this title, I'm going to be talking about my breast reduction pre-op appointment with my doctor, and I'm going to tell you all the answers that I got to all the questions that I asked. Why don't we just jump into it? My first question on here was, will I get drains? Yes. The answer to that question was a hard yes from my doctor. Disappointing? Yes. Totally disappointing. I will have drains. That's unfortunate. I asked when I need to be NPO by. NPO, for those of you that don't know, means no food by mouth. The answer to that question is that I cannot eat past 9:30 p.m. the night before the surgery. In my circumstance, the night before my surgery happens to be Passover. It's tradition to drink wine during the Passover Seder. I asked if I was allowed to at least have like a glass of wine, and the answer was a hard no. So no drinking anything, and the reason for that is because it's a blood thinner and they don't want my blood to thin. My next question was about breastfeeding and if I'd be able to breastfeed. I made sure that my doctor was aware of the fact that I am hoping to breastfeed in the future, and so he will take extra precautions, hopefully, to make sure that that will still be a possibility for me. But with breast reductions, it's really unpredictable and you won't know until you try to do it. From my research, I've read that it's harder with your first child and easier with your second child, and it also depends on the amount of distance between your surgery and having your child. I asked about pain and recovery. They say that the first 2 days are going to be the worst, and then it'll start to get better. And recovery wise, I am not allowed to lift anything over 5 pounds, I believe, for 4 to 6 weeks. They say that I'm going to start to feel better and totally back to normal within 2 weeks, but to still not lift anything, as it can ruin the results of your surgery. So pretty much to just kind of like lay low, no working out within the first 6 weeks, which is fine by me. I also asked about having had bleomycin toxicity. We're just going to be really aware of my breathing and breath during the surgery, and by we I mean them, because I'm going to be passed out. Does anybody else get scared that like they might wake up during the surgery? Because that is probably the scariest thing that I could ever think of. Like, you wake up to the point where you can feel things, but you don't have enough like willpower to tell them, hey, I feel this. You know what I mean? Oh, that's so scary to me. I asked about post-op visits. So how it's going to work is I'm going to go back the next day, which is why Adam and I will be staying in a hotel near the surgical center. And after that day, we're going to see if I need to come back the day after or if I need to come back the next week. And then within the first month, I kind of see him on a weekly or every other week basis. And then it'll go into a few months, and then it'll go into a year. And then I think that's it. The next question I asked is what kind of stitches I'd be getting. I was curious if I would be getting stitches that would dissolve or if I would be getting stitches that I would need to come back and have him remove. The answer to that question is that I will be getting stitches that dissolve, and then where the nipple is, I will be getting stints, I think is what they called it. They look like little band-aids though. Another question that was a really big concern of mine is the fact that I am being prescribed antibiotics. I'm not really the biggest fan of antibiotics, and I'm also being prescribed antibiotics that I was on during my treatment for lymphoma. Having had an infection in my lungs, they put me on a really intense antibiotic and it really messed me up. So that's called Bactrim. And during my treatment, I had to take 2 pills 4 times a day. So my doctor prescribed me 2 pills twice a day, which is okay. I will do it. So I'm starting it a day before my surgery. The day of my surgery, I don't take it, and they're gonna give it to me through the IV. I'm prescribed 2 different kinds of antibiotics, Cipro and Bactrim. And to enter the talk of medicine, I'm also prescribed an anti-nausea medicine. And then today, after my appointment, because of my history with pulmonary emboli, which are blood clots in my lungs, my doctor believes that I'm a risk factor to getting blood clots. So I'm actually going to go back on Xarelto, which is another drug that I was on throughout my treatment, and it is a blood thinner, so that we make sure that I don't clot after the surgery. And that's a little bit like, to me, it's very PTSD. He actually wanted to prescribe me Lovenox, which are the blood thinner shots, which is something that I also did during my treatment, and I put my foot down with that one. I was like, I will do the pills, not the shots. So my surgeon actually called Hoffy, who is my oncologist in Florida, and confirmed the dosage and whatnot, and got his okay to do all of this. Like, all the bottles right here. So there's this and this. I asked about post-op for pain, and I do not have any addiction problems or anything like that, so I will be getting narcotics. I just want to not be in pain, and that's like very unlike me to want medicine like that, but I'd much prefer that actually over Tylenol, and I can't have ibuprofen or any of that other stuff, which I also don't like. I asked when I can go back to school. I have arranged for my surgery to be over spring break, and then I have 5 days until I have to go back to school, so I just wanted to make sure it was okay, and they said that I should be fine to go back to school. It's just I can't carry books and things like that. So I think I'm just going to go to classes and take notes on my computer, or just take like one little notebook and write all my notes in it. I asked about sizing, which is important. Obviously, I am a 32H right now, and I really wanted to go down to a B. Unfortunately, my doctor doesn't think that that can be done while still keeping a nice breast shape. He's going to aim at a C. He said that it will probably end up being a D. It also depends on where I get my bras. I'm hoping for a small C, but we'll see what, see what I did there? We'll see what happens with that. I'm a 32H, so I think that just even going down to like within the normal boob range will be good enough for me. I think that it'll still make an extreme difference. Nipple sensation, he said that there's a possibility, there always is with the breast reduction, that I could lose my nipple sensation. We'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen. He said it's very rare for that to happen. I asked if he thinks it'll solve my back pains. He said that it will definitely help. Hopefully it helps, and then there are other things that I could do to help my back pain, like doing more yoga and whatnot, now that I'll be comfortable enough to work out and feel good and all of that. It's really all the questions that I had for him today. I had them all written in my notes, and they told me to have baggy clothes when I come, because they actually dress me after the surgery, so make sure that it's a button up or a zip up and like some loose pants. There's not much that I missed, I don't think, and if there is, you'll see it on the day of the surgery, because I will be vlogging. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it helped you if you're interested in getting this, or if it just gave you some insight as to what this process is going to be like for me. I'm so excited, but I'm also so nervous, because it's surgery and it's anesthesia, and I'm just like, I don't want an infection. Like, I'm trying to be really safe, really take all the precautions that they're telling me to, even though like some of them are against the things that I would normally be doing. But antibiotics, I'm gonna take you. Please be kind to my body. Thank you. Please, if you have any other questions that I didn't think of or that I didn't mention in this video, please comment them down below, and I will be sure to answer them in a breast reduction Q&A. Please subscribe, and always remember, everything's gonna be okay. Take back my life.